Hi everybody, Sandra here from Creating Spain. I apologise if the sound is a little bit off. I've got people outside. Well, I haven't got people outside, but there are people outside doing various forms of DIY. Very noisy forms of DIY, I think. Tile drilling and filing and all sorts, so it might be a little bit noisy from time to time. Right, today's video is a little different in that I wanted to chat to you, but I'm just going to be doing a card while I chat to you. The card itself is so simple, it really doesn't need any explanation, but I just wanted to talk to you about cutting machines in general and the Silver Bullet in particular. Now, when I think of die machines, or when I thought of die machines when a few years ago I didn't have one, I wanted to be able to cut things out, but I wanted to be able to design my own things. I didn't want to cut out what somebody else had decided I should want to cut out. I'm a bit bullish like that, I suppose, but it's just not me to want to do something that somebody else is doing. I wanted to be able to draw my own designs, cut out my own designs, decide how they're put together and so on and so forth. And when I originally found electronic die cutting machines, I thought, yay, good for us, you know, this is my idea of crafting heaven. And I have not changed my opinion on that. As it happens, I also have an Evolution machine, which I use as an embossing machine to emboss paper or deboss paper or card. I don't use it to cut things out. I don't have dies for it. Neither do I particularly want to. So I use my Silver Bullet to do all my cutouts. Now, I used to have a Silhouette Cameo, and it worked well enough up to a point, but it couldn't cope with everything that I wanted it to cut. And I have to confess, I got totally irritated with the software because I wanted to be able to share my designs with whoever wanted to use them. I wanted to be able to do my designs and save them to SVG, which is a recognized vector format, so that anybody could take my designs and use them for their own interests. With Silhouette Studio software, I couldn't do that. We could only save to Silhouette Studio, and you can't use Silhouette Studio files in any other cutting machine. So that is the main reason, I think, why I eventually thought about changing my machine and ended up going with the Silver Bullet. What I can say is that I've had my Silver Bullet for nearly 2 years, I think it is now, and I haven't regretted it a single minute. It is by far, out and out, the best cutting machine I think you can get today. I have checked the specs of various other machines. I haven't found anything that comes anywhere close to it as far as I'm concerned, particularly from the perspective of a Mac user. Right, I have, better start on this card, hadn't I? I've got some paper that I somehow put some colour on. I think I just plunked it down on a surface and just smushed it in. But I did this design and I was looking for a background for it, and I put it against that. I thought, yep, that will do very nicely. So what I'm going to do now is just to stick one piece onto the other before I do anything else. So anyway, I started using my Silver Bullet, and when I got it, I had to learn new software. I use Shortcuts a lot. Now, I do have a habit, if I need to learn new software, I go through the instructions, I look for videos on it, I read everything that I can on it, and I go through any instruction booklet from front to back, and if I need to, I do it again. That's how I learn my software. I go through absolutely everything that I could possibly need to do, and that's it. Once I've done that, I generally know pretty much what I'm doing. And that was the case with the Shure Cut-A-Lot. Now, when you buy Silverbullet, you can choose a different type of software. It's one that was primarily aimed at vinyl cutters, and I haven't used it, so I can't comment on how good or otherwise it is. Okay, just so you know that. From what I gather from other people who use it, it's fine, but it's not one that I've used. So, what do I particularly like about the Silverbullet? Well, firstly, I can cut pretty much anything I want to with it, as long as I get the cut settings correct. And it also has the strongest roller grip that you can imagine. So if I do a cut and I suddenly realise that it's not cut all the way through, it's no biggie. I just press a button which says repeat, and it cuts it again in exactly the same place. There's no shifting. Right, I'm going to dry this mat off a second, because I want to put my card face down it, so I don't want it to get wet. Right, and I'm going to put some double-sided foam tape on the back. So I particularly like the fact that I can do a cut if I've not got all the way through for whatever reason, because I always start on softer pressure rather than a harder one. I can just press the button and it goes repeat, and it cuts it over exactly the same place as it cut it in the first time. And that's because the rollers really, really do grip. As for mats, I can use pretty much anything I want as a mat. And my current favourite at the moment is, you can see where my card has come off of here. This is an IKEA dinner mat, and that is what I use. They cost 99 cents in Spain, and it's probably 99 pence in the UK or something like that, or 75 pence, I don't know. But I use these and it's excellent. I have the 15-inch Silverbullet, and I use those mats all the time without any problem whatsoever. And if I do need to replace it, they are really cheap to replace, so I don't worry about it. Another thing that I really, really like about the Silverbullet is the fact that you can use whatever blades you can get, as long as they are the correct size. You can use whatever blades you like for your blades, because it has a blade holder that is refillable rather than one that is disposable. And to me, that is a very good idea indeed. It means that I can purchase expensive blades if I want, or dearer blades if I want, or I can buy them in bulk from China. The choice is mine. I am not tied to whatever manufacturer or supplier. Now, while we're on the subject of suppliers, my Silverbullet came from Dawn at Time Graphics in the UK, and it was purchased for me as a Christmas gift by my husband. I have nothing but the utmost respect for Dawn and her business, because they provide absolutely brilliant, first-class, unbeatable service. And I am not being paid to say that. Dawn hasn't got the slightest notion that I'm making this video, because I didn't know I was going to make it until this afternoon. I don't get sponsored in any shape or form by Dawn's company, and my main association with it is the fact that I make a lot of design files and I freely share them. That's it. But I do that independently of her forum in any case. But if anyone does have any problems, they need any design help or help with a machine, the Time Graphics forum for the Silver Bullet and the other machines that they used to make is absolutely superb. There is always someone there who can help you. And since we have people on the forum from the UK, from the States, from Australia, from the Netherlands, etc., etc., there is nearly always someone who can provide an answer to a question in the time frame that you need it. And personally, I don't think Dawn's had a holiday for years. She swears she has, but you know, we people on the forum are distinctly of the impression that she hasn't. She's averse to holidays. She's a workaholic. So there is my card, almost finished. I'm going to put a few of these sequins away in a minute. What I wanted to do is just put some text on here, and I want it in white ink. So I've got my Signo pen. I'm just going to take a scrap to make sure that it's running. Yes. I'm going to take this off screen a second so I can write. Wonderful. So it says hello, wonderful. Although it's quite subtle, you have to actually look harder to see it. Right, so that's my card done, and there we go. So from the point of view of anyone who's thinking of buying a cutting machine, if you can afford them, I mean, I grant you, Silver Bullets are not cheap, but they are extremely good machines. They're the workhorses of the cutting world. Also on the subject of the machines, Dawn is instigating an upgrade which can be retrofitted to a machine, and that is a camera that is going to be able to help you in lining up with print and cuts. So from my point of view, I would say that the Silver Bullet is probably one of the best things I have ever had. I use it virtually every day and sometimes all day for hours on end. And I love it, absolutely love it. The difference between having a die cut machine that you use metal dies and your own machine to cut out your own shapes isn't just that you are free to draw your own designs. You can draw your designs and you can alter the sizing of them at will. This file, for example, which is now on an A6 card, I could resize that just by a couple of clicks of the mouse, and I can make it half that size or double the size, it doesn't matter. And that makes it so much nicer to have a cutting machine where you're not stuck to fitting something that someone else has designed to something else that, again, someone else has designed for you and decided that this is what you want to cut, this is what you need to cut. So there we go, that's my ramble for today. I hope you haven't minded too much. Take care now, bye bye.